What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first installment of the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. This is something I've had on my mind for a little while. Aiden, he was supposed to be here, but Aiden is just Aiden, and he sometimes he didn't want to show up, I guess. So, yeah, man, it's cold. I need a blanket. Surprise, surprise! I'm here! Oh, okay. That was a lame start if I've ever had one. But, bro, they're frogs. I didn't know they were frogs. in the gummy jar. Let's eat them. So throw that on Texas ring. Dude, I actually think a fish would bite that.
We're off to a terrible spot. Why did I spend $50 at Dollar General when you just come to your house?
No idea.
Oh!
Well, guys, like I said, guys, we're starting a podcast.
I had a black one.
That's licorice, ain't it? The mad chewing is gonna be in that mic. Alright. Sorry, guys, we're gonna try and be serious here.
Chicken in the
we're
corn.
just here to have fun. I'm gonna take the gummies away from Aiden for a little bit.
I'm gonna go too.
And,
there's a spider in your bed.
Eat the spider. That's a tasty looking spider. Oh, whatever. Again. Sorry to those that are watching. This is how we're. This is bananas. So, anyway, guys, we're going to start a podcast for just random outdoor topics, especially, like, if you guys have any great ideas, please go down in the comments, like these videos. Also, I'm sorry, I got off a rabbit trail-ish. Go down in the comment section, just give me some good ideas of what you guys would like to hear us talk about if you care about our opinion.
And if you don't care, we don't care.
Yeah, if you don't care, we don't care.
We don't care what you think, okay?
And, then also...
I'm joking.
This here podcast is probably going to be exclusive just to YouTube for a little while. These are just going to be video podcasts. And I guess if you have YouTube Premium, you can download these. And yeah, I guess I don't know how YouTube Premium works. So
That's one thing. Yeah. We don't care what you think. We're just going to be us. All you little keyboard warriors out there need to...
We're going to be us.
Take your bandanas off. Okay, because we ain't here for a fight, old son. We're here to have a good time. Not a long time, but a good time.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep these within
said.
20 minutes, if nothing else. I mean, just not to waste y'all's time. But we're going to kind of just talk about relevant subjects. And right now, it's March 9th. It's Easter.
Easter.
So happy Easter, you guys.
Tell me if you see any Easter bunnies. I'll come and remove them from your community for you.
Yeah, we'll come and take care of them Easter bunnies for y'all. But also, Easter is all about the rising of Christ. Most important thing that I think ever happened to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're also here all about. We're here to spread the gospel and just be a light to... We can act stupid as much as we want, or like, as much as we do. At the end of the day, it doesn't change what our real... I guess you said purpose in life is, it's to honor and glorify God. And so we're going to try to use our opinions and stuff just to give you, I don't know, maybe teach y'all, learn a little something.
What you know about that?
From us. You can learn something.
Bunch of youngins. Just a bunch of old youngins.
Yeah, we're literally 17 and 15 years old.
I'm 17, size 15.
Exactly.
Of course.
And we're trying to share what we love, hunting, fishing, and all things outdoors mostly.
Conservation, cooking.
Yeah. We actually are trying to do a little bit more catching cooks this year. I did 2 last year. We're going.
We filmed a bunch of them.
I know we filmed a bunch, and I think only got 2 got posted.
What was it? It was a frog video?
There was a frog.
And
I did with Trevor.
Absolutely, that bluegill. Monstrous bluegill.
That giant bluegill.
Brother, I can still taste that.
Some other people might think, what on earth, you caught a 1.5 pound bluegill. That's huge. I mean, I don't know if any other lakes.
The world record is 3.5 pounds.
Is it?
Let me make sure.
Brim, I think your phone's laying on the floor over there.
I don't know. Somebody threw it down there.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about today. Like I said, it's
What is the
spring.
world record bluegill?
Here's what I found from BigBanPokemon.com. The world record bluegill recorded by IGFA, or the International Gamefish Association, was caught in 1950 at Katona Lake, Alabama. This bluegill weighed in at a whopping 4 pounds 12 ounces, and came in at 15 inches long with an astounding girth of 18 inches.
That's some girth.
That is a big
girthy girl.
That's a big old bluegill.
What cracks me up is the website name. It's pronounced IGFA. Siri said it as IGFA. Siri, you dumb little dong dong.
Sorry, Siri, but we have to speak the truth here.
Speak the truth.
Speak truth. But yeah, so
Connor, what
Right
time
now.
is singing?
singing starts at 6, so we have to go to church here after a little while.
After a little while, it's 5:53.
So what?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
So we're going to try, and this is mostly just an introduction podcast, so we're just going to kind of talk. And
Just a quickie,
just-
but a goodie.
Not a, yeah,
Just a quickie, but a
quick goodie.
A quick goodie.
Quick goodie.
No,
A quick
we're
goodie.
already off to a terrible start.
We're so off too. Or like,
Pit vipers, what you think about that?
get off your phone.
Ooh,
But-
got something in the cart.
Anyway, we're going to kind of talk about it's spawning time, and water temperatures are rising, and also turkeys are gobbling. So that's kind of the two topics we're going to try to touch on real quick. We really want to talk about topwater baits right now, because that is like, if y'all haven't fished the topwater, y'all missing out. And
Oh my goodness, yes. 4-wheelers versus horse. Let's hear about it.
Billings is not like the most mountainous area. Right? Where I live.
Where I live, there's chickens.
what are you trying to watch? Dale Brisby?
Jordan Davis, Luke Combs pranks Jordan Davis with a bag of dirt. A little dirt never hurt
Put
nobody.
your darn phone down.
Okay, I'm done. But a little dirt never hurt nobody.
But anyway, we're going to talk about topwater, like I just said. What like personal preferences on between a Choppa Whopper Plopper style bait or a buzz bait? Like personally, like how would you rate?
Dude,
rate
I
on
think
a-
it depends.
on
That's what I'm gonna
on
go with.
conditions, or like just on.
On your environment. Because listen, you're not going to find a better, for open water, you're not going to find a better topwater bait than a Choppo for open, clear water.
Right.
Listen, a frog, lily pads, and grass lines, but let me tell you something. A buzz bait, you can flip that sapsucker back in there.
Seriously, if you got like shallow water out deep, like out far but shallow water, you're fishing banks around docks.
Right.
You got
a Choppo
bedded.
is
If you
not
got if we're
designed
shooting over
to-
bedded
yeah.
bass, dude, that is the way to catch them.
A Choppo is not designed for finesse casting.
Mm.
It was designed to
It's an aggressive
cover
big
water.
fish bait,
yes.
but you're also going to get a ton of small fish on it. So I ain't gonna lie.
A buzz bait is even more made for grass lines.
It's not also first of all, like buzz bait. It's not going to get snagged crazy easy.
It's
got
not.
one
See,
hook,
the thing with the
and you
Choppo,
only see a
yeah,
handful of guys that'll put a trailer hook on there.
that's the thing about the Choppo. There's so many hooks.
You
There's
got-
pros and cons to everything. Personally, if I was gonna pick one topwater bait for the rest of my life,
It'd
it
be a
might
Choppo.
actually be a plastic toad. That is one people sleep on.
I don't even know what that one is. Is that actually like a
toad.
soft plastic?
It's a soft plastic topwater. Let me show you what I'm
Oh, is
talking
that okay? So it's like a frog, but it's like with that double hook. You hook them. You hook 'em
Yes.
like you do Texas rig with that double hook.
You can flip around. You can get
That's
places. You can let it sink. You can swim it around.
But that's top water.
Right.
So we're thinking just top water, not multi-purpose.
Right.
So strict top water, I would definitely go
What is your
a Choppo.
what is your
Yeah.
go-to topwater bait? If you could fish. Alright, let's do this like this. You have 5 categories. No, let's go 3 categories. You can only pick 3 baits from each category. So those categories are going
rest
to be
of your
topwater, mid-water, and then finesse.
Mhm.
So like topwater, hard bait, and soft baits.
Yeah,
What
especially
is your
crankbait or
pick?
jerkbait or something like that. That's actually, that kind of puts in a good category. I would definitely say Chopo for top water.
Okay.
Definitely. It's just it catches bass. There's no denying it catches bass.
Yup.
For mid bait or like mid style bait, it's especially depending on the depth. Because I mean, here's the thing: you can get a crankbait, and cranking is actually supposed to be hopping the thing off of rocks on the bottom.
Right.
So I don't know if you consider that a mid water bait, but then you have like a lipless crankbait that's meant for swimming. Then you got a swim, like you got big swim baits or swim jigs or yeah, just those big bass, suspending bass baits like a big swim bait.
Right.
But any bait that has weight, you can fish it to the bottom. You can fish it mid level.
Swim bait, glide baits,
So-
jigs. Yeah.
So you got multiple purpose. I think I would just go a jig of some sort because you can finesse with a jig,
Right.
especially if you do it right. So you can do a swim jig, you can do flipping jig, multiple types of jigs. So if you can pick just a jig, hey,
How are we
that's
doing that? So if we were picking deer, would we have to say white-tailed deer or just deer? For like jigs, does it have to be like a swim bait or can it just be jig? Like everything.
that's actually a good point. Whitetail, blacktail, whatever. Yeah, I think we're just go specific type of jigs. I would definitely go swim jig.
Would you? Okay.
I would definitely go swim jig because you can fish it slow and it's just kind of like, and you actually can hop it across the bottom.
Right.
It's not going to have the same presentation as like a football jig or a heavy flipping jig, but you can use it for that if you do it right. So I'll definitely go like a swim jig. And finesse, I'm definitely just going to like, I think every angler out there would say a stick bait of some sort.
Oh my goodness.
Because that is like,
I did not think that's where you were going.
you could do a swim bait. Like I'm torn between a crawl bait or a stick bait. Because you've got wacky rig, you got just a regular Texas rig, and especially if you have just a little swim tail, that presents a totally different action. You can throw them on a shaky head. It has that Ned head presentation. With a stick bait, like you got all these presentations you can do. With a crawl bait, you can do the shaky head or a net head, or you can swim it. But I think you might get more bites out of a crawl bait, just like pure aggression, especially during spawning. But I feel like just a stick bait, you're going to actually get more quality bites, I think. I don't know. Like, it may be different on some people's perspective, but I really think you're going to get more quality bites off of a stick bait. So, yeah, my three baits would be just to say one, a lunker log, a swim bait or swim jig, and a Berkeley Chopo. If that's all I could throw for the rest of my life, that would be the three I'd be throwing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I threw it enough with the worm.
You did. Just a little bit. But, I don't know. Oh, we're going to be late for church.
That's right. What time is it? It's 6.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just finish covering the fishing topic here real quick.
I want to just do my top 3 real quick. So, number 1, I'm going to throw it up. I'm going to go buzzbait. Because you get that place, like I say, you can get it in just a little bit. Different areas where you couldn't quite get a chop up against reeds. Number 2,
Suspending bait or something.
Yeah.
Like suspending fish bait for that mid-water.
Oh, man, it's a hard
That's
one.
a really hard subject because you can fish so much stuff that does like...
Here's the thing,
I'm big into them lipless crankbaits, and that's where you can do some damage. You can also do some serious damage with the jerk bait.
Right, that's where I'm at. I'm stuck between.
But then you got
bait.
you got a click bait as far as like the little chatterbait. You got chatterbait. You got so many options. And I just think a swim jig is where you're gonna actually get a little more presentation.
I'm so torn between jerkbait and crankbait, but I think I'm gonna go crankbait. I really am.
I would agree with you on that between those two.
Yeah.
You're not like with a crankbait. I think you're definitely that's what's gonna get you quality bites.
Yeah.
It's a big bait, and you can fish them giant those. What is that? What is that one Rapala like a DT?
It's a
DT12
DT12
or DT12. those are big, deep water baits. And then, they're meant for catching big bass.
Yes, they are.
And so you get them down to them big old giants that are just down on the bottom or suspending. You're going to catch some quality bites on a crankbait.
Yeah.
So
Number 3, okay, finesse. I love finesse fishing.
I'm gonna say, just as a reference, I'm gonna say as an angler that fishes with Aiden a lot, mainly I go fishing with him about 80% of the time I ever go fishing. I barely see the man pick up a bait caster.
This is true, even though I love flipping. Oh, I love flipping. And finesse casting is my favorite. But as far as finesse goes, I have to go stick bait. I was going to stick bait. Yeah. I already had made my mind up, okay? You can go get 10-inch stick baits.
Yep.
Brother. Texas rig those things. Hop that along the bottom. Go get small ones. Wacky rigs. Nico rigs. You can drop shot them sapsuckers.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do so much with a stick bait, and another thing is, stick baits are such a big world of bait.
Yeah.
Because they make so many different types of stick baits. I mean, you got multiple colored stick baits, and the one I really love is just a green pumpkin with a chartreuse tip. You cannot beat how to swim. You can't beat that thing on a Nico rig.
Z-Man? I think Z-Man was kind of famous for that.
They might have been. Because I got some Yum dingers that have their green pumpkin weren't the main body of it is a green pumpkin, but then it's got about a 1/2-inch stick.
Yes.
Of chartreuse on the back, and that thing, you do that thing on a Nico rig, especially, get that green sticking up in the air and just kind of hopping that along. Man alive, can that do so good! And then you also throw it on a drop shot. You throw it on a Tokyo rig. Oh my word! The small drop shot.
Yeah.
It's so effective.
We should maybe explain what a Nico rig is for all the people.
And to all those that don't know it, yeah, Aiden's a bigger
Okay, so
into
a wacky rig is people make special design hooks for it. They're small and they're straight shanked, which means there's no bend between the bottom of the hook loop and the eyelet. Anyhow, but your wacky rig is hooked through the middle. A Nico rig is hooked in the middle, but there's a weight on the bottom, so it hops along the bottom. Anyhow, but no for Lefty.
I'm back.
Are you ready?
No, we're gonna finish this.
What do you mean?
Keep explaining what you was.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about a Nico rig.
Nico rig, you put weight on the bottom.
So you can literally do this anyway. You can stick a nail in there.
Right, nails work. They actually make a punch nail weight. It's literally what you do. But I like to get those that are screw ins just because they stay in there a little bit better. But your weight is up to you. Of course, the heavier you are, the more it's gonna stay on the bottom, the faster it's gonna sink. It's
honestly for the
about an 1/8 ounce to a 1/4 ounce weight.
That's pretty light though.
Really light. Yes. But
all
enough
it does
to keep it where there's one on the bottom, and it's because finesse is not a crankbait is a very vicious way of fishing. It's very in your face, very obnoxious.
Come get me.
Finesse is slow. You kind of entrance the fish. You trick a wild animal to bite your hook, and then you reel in a wild animal.
Right. It's a crazy fact when you think of it in a way. It's not like oh, I'm going to go fishing. You're like, oh, hold on, I'm tricking this smart
wild animal to bite my hook,
and then you're going to set that sucker in its mouth.
You were going to rip that jaws
and reel him in.
Right.
And manhandle it, possibly clip its lips to a scale.
Just one lip, people. Back. We don't nail their lips together.
Yeah, that would be a bad deal.
Finesse is slow. It's probably one of the most famous finesse tactics in the world. Would you agree? Wacky.
I say wacky rig.
A wacky rig.
It's for stick bait.
That everybody knows what a wacky rig is.
I think everybody knows what a wacky rig is,
and except for the ones that don't.
That was literally that was probably when I got into fishing a little bit more big time. maybe 3 years ago, a wacky rig was the first, and like I'm being 100% serious. I didn't know what a Texas rig was until about a year and a half ago. I knew how to hook. I literally the closest thing I got to a Texas rig was hooking the end of it and just threading it through the 1/2 inch, and then letting the rest of it stick out past the back of the hook. And I would miss a lot more fish because you're just not getting that much of the. I mean, the fish has got half the worm all the way in the back, so you don't got the same presentation. Right. The wacky rig was literally the first rig, and I'm telling you guys, that's about all I fished. That and a little spinner bait.
That's about. Okay, we've got to tell the people. But
okay, so
inline spinners
were the thing to throw. They're small. They look like a little shiner.
We would literally go,
and you could go and
buy 9 packs of them.
Yeah, you'd get those packs of 9, and you'd buy 3 packs of them at a time,
brother. And we lost them too.
Yeah, you'd lose. We
also destroyed them because they were made out of lead, and we would slap them on the water when we got
weeds or something.
I ran through so many.
I went through so many myself. But they were so crazy effective, and that and a wacky rig were literally, I would say, 50%. Those two together were 50% of my tackle box.
The first fish I've ever caught on a soft plastic was with a wacky rig.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, there is nothing like a wacky rig bite because you got to wait on them things to eat it.
You do. Texas rig too.
Texas rig.
That's why I'm so enthused with it.
It's
because
you've got to be so careful. I went fishing yesterday. I ripped more baits out of a fish's mouth than I did actually hooking into a fish at the end of the day.
Which also, this time of year, if you fish, this time of year they're especially bad for short striking because they're not attacking because they're hungry. They're attacking because they're defending their.
And that's where I think the guys what was the lake up in South Carolina? There was just an MLF tournament up there. Most guys, there was giant bass being caught on beds, but they're throwing jerk baits, and that's because they're short striking. With a short striking bass, you get a jerk bait out there, they hit it. There's 3 treble hooks on a jerk bait.
Yeah, on a normal size.
You'll foul hook them a lot more, but you're going to cook them.
Right, dude. People, listen. This is probably not the smartest thing to do.
80% of fish that go after jerk bait are going to get hauled into the boat.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you are trying to snag fish, do not do this. This is highly illegal. If you're trying to snag carp,
take a jerk bait.
You grab a jerk bait or
just a treble hook
or a crankbait and dive it right over their backs, brother.
Mm-hmm. And bring it and just jerk it right on. Like, we're saying this like we know what we're doing, and unfortunately, yes, we've done it. Because we're idiots from the South.
Unfortunately, though, yeah, wow.
I've only actually caught 1 carp in my life, and that one was on a giant sea fishing rod with a clump of bread.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, son, that thing was easy 20 pounds.
Yeah,
just giant. They're just huge. Didn't Andrew catch one like 40 pounds?
Andrew caught a 48-pound bass.
That's gonna kick the world record.
That's a wonka.
48 grass carp.
Grass carp, brother. And if you know about grass carp, you know that their scales are not attached like a bass. Their scales float. Okay, brother. They look like little aliens. Okay. Andrew pulled this thing up to the surface, and these scales float up to the top of the water. He thought he hooked a walrus. Okay.
Walrus are flat skin.
That's true. He thought he hooked some sort of creature that should not be in this pond. Like a coyote or something.
I've literally hooked probably a dead animal under.
Let me tell you something.
Clumps of hair one time when I was fishing. Clumps of it looked like hog hair.
That makes sense. Listen, if you're trying to feed your catfish, brother, and you don't want to go buy feed, brother, just throw a couple
dead chickens in there.
We can't say that. That's terrible.
That's true. Just throw you a couple chicks in there.
Okay,
man, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Let me tell you something. Okay, here in Tennessee, we have a little problem. Okay, carp are considered
trash fish,
and they're a nuisance. They're taking away our waterways. There's a certain smallmouth fishing river in Tennessee. It's called Caney. Okay, at one point in time, there were smallmouth in there. There still is some.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. What them big carp will do, them get their big old chickalockin' fucking
Suckers.
gill things, and they'll eat smallmouth as food. They'll eat like little crawdads. They'll eat,
And like for those
and they're just
reference,
bullies.
there's buffalo carp and there's grass carp.
And then
Grass carp
there's-
are actually kind of good for, especially if you have a pond. Throw them in there, and they will not let algae get in your pond.
Just they're extremely clean, but they also kill. They're bully fish. They'll take over beds. So right now in Caney Creek, there are more every year. A certain type. There's buffalo carp, buddy. Okay, you can go paddleboarding up in there. Listen, okay, one of our cousins, Esther, was telling me about this.
Hey,
She
she
went
told
up
me about
there
this
while they
too.
were spawning, and brother, you could have walked on them.
Yeah, they're just everywhere.
And that's where you get that big old cast net and just start ripping lips.
Or ripping
Ripping
that poor. Yeah, no kidding.
That's what Maya
But-
does.
Yeah,
He
pretty
goes out there
much.
with the big old
Cast net and woof, he catches them.
brother.
Anyway, that is kind of, if you guys are trying to get a look at like what this podcast is going to be all about, just kind of stuff like this, we're going to be talking about relevant fishing stuff, hunting stuff, and like I said, go down to the comment section and give us some good
Bees,
topics.
trees.
Give us good topics. Did I say topics?
Please.
Try to talk
Weasels.
about conservation, any kind of controversial.
As Meat Eater would say,
hunting.
hunting, cooking, conservation,
Is
and
there
fishing.
3 or 4?
Hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking.
Is there
And then
4? Yeah.
old men.
Sounds like Randy Travis over
Mountain
here.
men.
But
His brother, we got him.
yeah, maybe.
Get him jacked up on that Mountain Dew, brother. They go crazy.
Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for spending this time and listening to our humble little podcast of our opinions and
Little opinions.
our humble opinions. So make sure to like, subscribe, and like I said, guys, go down in the comment section, give us some ideas. There's some stuff you'd like to hear us talk about. We're gonna try and do these for sure twice a month. And got a bug flying out my window, but
Zap sucker. Old boys.
thank you guys so much for listening and watching. And well, we'll catch you on the next one.
Also, fun fact of the day, you can... Never mind. Yes?